Hi guys, it's an absolute pleasure to be at the DeFi Summit. My name is Tushar Aggarwal, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Persistence. Today, I'll be demoing PStake, which is our liquid staking product that I'm super excited about. But before going into PStake, wanted to spend a couple of minutes introducing myself, Persistence, and what our journey has been. Um, Prior to founding Persistence, I was the first employee at Lunex Ventures, which is the crypto arm of a traditional venture capital fund called Golden Gate Ventures, based out of Singapore. And at Lunex, I was involved in everything from fund structuring, incorporating the fund, to fundraising. We raised capital from a publicly listed company in Japan, the VC arm of a sovereign wealth fund, and multiple family offices, mostly in Southeast Asia, but some in Western Europe as well. And then deployed that capital into equity deals as well as token deals, both on the primary as well as on the secondary side. I always wanted to jump over the fence in terms of being an operator versus a capital allocator. And, in that sense, started Persistence in the middle of 2019. And we came out of stealth beginning of 2020. In general, high level, our journey has been very similar to that of Terra. So Terra is a Tendermint-based project. They have Chai as their non-crypto user-facing application. Persistence is a Tendermint-based project. We have Comdex, which is a decentralized commodity trading and trade financing platform, as a non-crypto user-facing application. So it's geared towards institutional traders, mostly in Asia. But similar to how Terra kind of created Anchor Protocol, Mirror Protocol as crypto native applications, which really allowed Terra to become a sort of very well known brand within the crypto ecosystem, and also very widely used. Have a very wide user base. We are following sort of a similar strategy, and so as part of that, like I mentioned, the first product is PStake. In terms of our journey at Persistence within the proof of stake world has been an interesting one. So I personally was not early enough into crypto to be a Bitcoin miner or even an Ethereum miner, but I was early enough through some of the early mentorship that I received in a timely manner. I did get early into the proof of stake ecosystem, and found out about Definity, Tezos, Cosmos, Polkadot back in 2017, where it wasn't these projects were not even that cool. And the team from Persistence has been involved in Game of Stakes. So Cosmos and Tezos were the first delegated proof of stake chains in deployment, in production. And the Persistence team was involved in Game of Stakes, which was the incentivized testnet to launch Cosmos Hub. All other chains, including Solana, Avalanche, Near, have followed some variation of what Cosmos had pioneered in terms of launching a chain. So in that respect, we have been involved in the launch of multiple other proof of stake chains as well, and so have a deep understanding of how POS protocols work. We also run one of the largest validators in Southeast Asia and South Asia, which is called Audit.one. We have close to 300 million assets under delegation. But the biggest kicker for us in terms of launching PStake, or this liquid staking application, was doing the stake drop campaign. And some of the viewers might have participated in the stake drop campaign as well, which we ran in Q4 2020. So what was the stake drop campaign? Stakers of certain assets, including Atoms, Kava, Luna, and Matic, would receive a very targeted airdrop of the Persistence coin. So within a 3-month period, we had more than $1 billion worth of staked assets that participated in this stake drop, which kind of gave us a sense of the humongous amount of demand that there is in terms of creating additional liquidity or additional yields from already staked assets. So that's kind of how PStake began. So I'll just share my screen very quickly to go through the deck. I'll kind of straddle between. Oops. a straddle between the deck itself and the demo. So I've kind of gone through what our journey within the proof of stake ecosystem has been. We're going to market a lot of liquid staking projects out there, such as Lido, Stakewise, Rocket Pool are going to market through Ethereum, ETH2, which makes sense. It's the largest addressable market. But what is usually overlooked is the Cosmos ecosystem, which has the next biggest total addressable market, which is what we're going to market with. So going to market with Atoms and other Tendermint-based coins. The other point that I wanted to highlight is that people keep talking about the TVL and DeFi, which I had checked the figures last week, but I think the numbers would have fallen a little bit by now. But it was about fluctuates between kind of 60 to 80 billion dollars. What people usually forget is that within POS protocols, there is more than almost double of that amount that is already locked in, which can, people talk about bringing assets from outside crypto into crypto and within DeFi, but you can have a lot of the value that has been locked up in POS coins like Atoms, like Polkadot, that can be brought into DeFi itself through issuing these representative staked coins, which is what we're trying to do with pStake. Typical returns are from 7 to 15%. What are some of the things that we're trying to address? We're trying to make sure that end users can make higher yields. They don't have their liquidity locked up, because if you stake atoms or dots, that's it. You stake these atoms or dots. You can't do anything else. Typically for Tendermint and substrate-based coins, there's a 21 to 28-day unbonding period. And then, of course, because you're taking part in consensus of the chain, you can you run into some slashing risk. So at this stage, I'm going to jump into the product itself. So right now we're connected to the Goerli testnet. This is what the application looks like. This is the bridge between Cosmos Hub and Ethereum. We're following a two-token model, and right now we're calling these USDK atoms and SDK atoms, but we're going to rename the terminologies and call them, I think, make it simpler for the end users. But essentially, USDK atom is an unstaked atom. SDK atom is a staked atom. You can this is essentially the bridge component, which allows it's similar to what Ren does in terms of bringing your BTC into ETH. So converting BTC to WBTC. This is bringing atoms into the Ethereum ecosystem. Once you've brought your atoms into the Ethereum ecosystem, these are unstaked coins, so you're not earning any rewards, but you can choose to stake them. As long as you're holding staked atoms in your wallet, you'll keep accruing unstaked atoms as rewards in the background, which is how POS protocols actually work. If you stake your dots, you get your rewards as unbonded dots. If you want to unstake, you can unstake and you'll get USDK atoms back. The cool-off period for staked atoms is 21 days. And so in this case, you'd have to wait for 21 days and get your atoms back as unbonded coins, and you can redeem them after 21 days. Over a period of time, we'll be expanding this to Solana, ETH2, Polkadot, and other chains as well. But like I mentioned, we're going to market with atoms. There's certain other functionalities that I won't dig into too much, which is more something that we'll go into in V2 of the application. Moving back to the deck itself, where are we at in terms of launch of this product? So what you see is what has been developed. Right now, we're getting code audits done. We will be launching a testnet of sorts in the middle of June, and we'll be doing like a soft launch at the end of the month. And I wouldn't go too much into what makes us unique, but there are certain things. So like you saw, Lido and Rocket Pool, typically they do asset issuance on the native chain, which is if they're issuing a staked Sol, they would do it on the Solana chain itself. Whereas for us, what we're doing is we're issuing these assets on ERs as ERC20 coins. You would have seen USDK and STK coins where you're going with a dual token model as opposed to a single token model. It addresses a lot of issues and complexities that a single token model creates within the POS world. Yeah, right now we're issuing assets on Ethereum. Over a period of time, what we're going to do is do integrations with certain permissionless protocols like DEXs, but also certain platforms such as borrowing, lending, insurance platforms, where we may need to get these assets accepted through governance proposals. Over a period of time, we'll be doing the asset issuance on multiple chains as well. And our longer term vision is to get into asset management, so creation of vaults. So similar to what Yearn is doing, but for POS coins. What helps us? How will P-Stake grow? The growth happens, first of all, the first driver of growth is just the growth of the POS market cap. Every coin that is coming out is a POS market cap, is a POS coin at the infrastructural level. Also, right now, if you go to stakingrewards.com, the staking ratio is about 26 or 28%. That ratio itself is going to increase significantly in the coming months and years. That's from a market perspective. From a team perspective, certain things that set us apart, our go-to-market strategy, our focus on getting into asset management as opposed to just liquid staking. And then we've been developing communities, especially within the Tendermint ecosystem, over a very, very long period of time. And so that truly becomes one of our moats. We have a strong team both on the engineering side, both on Solidity as well as POS side, as well as a full-blown team in terms of research, BD, compliance, design, and marketing. We're super excited about the launch of this product itself. Liquid staking is something which truly has a humongous addressable market. It presents a huge opportunity, and we are super excited to be launching P-Stake. In terms of closing thoughts, we are super active on all social media platforms: Telegram, Twitter, LinkedIn, both from the company, from a persistence perspective, as well as personal. So super excited to connect with any potential users or community members. We are also looking to hire people. So if there are any folks both on the business side as well as on the tech side, we'd be very excited and happy to speak to you. Thank you so much, guys.